again. Let's go, let's go. All my b-ball fans, I need you to stand up. It's that time of year again. It's March Madness. March again, so we march again to the sounds that the madness is offering. The greatest tourney in the world, the NCAA, the best of the best coming to play, running away with the hearts of America. Fans back stadiums, game-saving plays this year. Who will be making them? Nets are getting cut down, confetti running down. Selection Sunday is getting the throne ready for one to be crowned. The Cinderella story, the buzzer beater, the passionate fans. It is historical glory that the victorious teams will not forever see. Magic moments embedded in their memory. Michael Jordan, Christian Laettner, these are just a couple players that came through in the clutch. Just the remakers that gave us some of the greatest sports memories we've ever seen. Who will be the team this year that'll live the dream? I'ma paint you a picture that's so graphic. 68 teams laid out in the brackets. After all the blood, sweat, tears, and the practice, it all comes down to this: March Madness. I'ma paint you a picture that's so graphic. 68 teams laid out in the brackets. After all the blood, sweat, tears, and the practice, it all comes down to this: March Madness. March Madness. After all the blood, sweat, tears, and the practice, it all comes down to this: March Madness. For the win! He's got it! He's got it! March Madness. Yes, it all comes down to this: March Madness.
For heat, for three, it's off the rim, and it's over in Indy. Duke is back atop college basketball's elite.
It hasn't always been easy to keep up with the latest sports news. In colonial times, finding out up-to-the-minute fantasy sports advice or results of the big game was slow and unreliable.
Hi, sir. Good day to you.
And good day to you.
Sir, have you heard the final results between the Boston Red Stockings and the Pennsylvania Dutch, per se?
Alas, unfortunately, no, I have not. I was at the tavern the other night when the writer came in with all the news, and that's one piece he didn't have. Unfortunately, we have to wait till next week for that piece of information.
Aye, 'tis bad.
As time advanced, so did technology, and soon it became much easier for Americans to follow their favorite teams. However, sports news continued to happen faster than fans could keep up with.
Good day, Mr. Trumbull. How be you be?
Good day to you, sir. Good to see you again today. Have you heard of the new game called basketball?
Basketball. Wasn't that invented last year?
Aye, sir, it was, but I have to wait for my son to learn how to read so he can read it to me.
In today's modern society, technology has made it so consumers no longer have to wait for the latest sports news and information. All the information they want can be accessed anytime they want, thanks to the latest in mobile technology. So how do people use cell phones today, and what do consumers want when it comes to mobile content? We're here in the nation's capital to find out. What do you use your phone for mostly?
Well, just now, I was checking it for fantasy football.
Check out highlights.
I check the scores and the highlights, yeah.
Check up on my Alabama games.
I try to watch as many highlights on my phone as possible. The stats as well as the highlights.
If I could watch games, I think that'd be great.
If I could watch a game on my phone, I would 100% do that.
I do fantasy soccer.
I've done fantasy bass fishing. Not as popular as I hoped it'd be.
I have to charge my battery at night on Sunday nights because I use my phone all day to check my fantasy football scores on.
Primarily, I use it when I'm like at work and bored.
Like in the car mostly.
Usually sports bar, everywhere. Every day.
When I'm out, when I'm home, when I'm at work.
Well, I sit in school a lot, following and on my iPhone, sit in class. My professors hate me for it, but I love using it.
I do use it at home also, just because I think flipping through channels, trying to wait for scores is inefficient.
While I'm driving, a lot of times I check it, of course.
It's definitely easy to check, the phone instead of having to get to a computer all the time.
I've tried some other ones, but the ESPN one works the best.
Communication has come such a long way since the days of George Washington. Sports, news, and scores are available in the palm of your hand and in real time. So what does the future hold for mobile content? Only time will tell.
What? We're losing to Mars?
The black course dries off long enough for some golf, and the Yanks bats get going sans A-Rod. I'm Matt Weiner.
SportsCenter Right Now.
The skies opened up Friday, but this time it was the sun coming through the clouds as play finally continued at the U.S. Open. The story of the first round was Mike Weir, who shot a 6-under 64, but by the time night fell on the black course, it was Lucas Glover who sat atop the leaderboard at 6-under after 13 second-round holes. Phil Mickelson sits at 1 under par through 11, 10 strokes back. At 4 over is defending champion Tiger Woods, who has yet to begin his second round. With lots of golf still left to play, they'll hit the links early to continue round 2, but they might have to play fast as even more rain is expected for Saturday. In baseball, interleague play continues and gave us the battle for LA Friday. The Angels taking game 1 of the weekend series 5-4. The Dodgers jumped out early with homers from James Loney and Rafael Furcal, but Chad Billingsley couldn't hold the lead, allowing the Angels to tie the score after 6. Then in the 8th, Juan Rivera untied the game with a solo shot to finish off the comeback. Citing fatigue, the Yankees decided to rest slumping A-Rod as they took on the Marlins Friday. New York didn't seem to miss him as they cruised past Florida 5-1. Andy Pettitte and 2 relievers combined to 3-hit the Fish, and every starter got a hit for the Yankees as they rebounded nicely from a shutout to the Nationals Thursday. Rodriguez is expected to sit Saturday as well. He's in the middle of an 8-for-55 slump in June. And finally, at the College World Series, Texas advanced to the finals with a pair of home runs in the bottom of the 9th of a 4-3 win over Arizona State. Cameron Rupp started the rally with his 11th homer of the year. 2 batters later, Connor Rowe hit a 2-out walk-off shot to left. Texas and LSU begin the championship series final Monday at 7 Eastern Time on ESPN. Be sure to tune in to SportsCenter live at the U.S. Open starting at 9 a.m. Eastern Time for continuing coverage of the second round from Bethpage Black.
I'm John Anik with your preview of the ski jumping competitions at the 2010 Winter Olympics. When it comes to ski jumping, few countries can match the talent of Austria. It's taken home the last 3 world championships in team competition, as well as the gold medal at the 2006 Olympic Games. Veteran jumper Thomas Morgenstern returns to defend his gold in the large hill, and Austria will also have 2009 normal hill world champion Wolfgang Leutzel on the team in Vancouver. But Austria's real star in these games might very well be Gregor Schlierenzauer. He set a record in last season's World Cup by winning 13 total events, including the 2 events held at the venue for this year's Olympic competitions. He also holds a silver medal from the 2009 World Championships. So as you can see, it might take some powerful magic to upset the Austrians at these games. So it's only fitting that one of their biggest challenges comes from a man who looks like a very famous boy wizard. Switzerland's Simone Ammann, a dead ringer for Harry Potter, and a man who took the ski jumping world by storm at the 2002 Olympic Games, where he grabbed gold in both the large and normal hill competitions. He then struggled for the next several years in international competition, but has come on strong in the last several years. Ammann won a gold at the 2007 World Championships and took home a bronze in last year's World Championship competition, also took home silver in last year's World Cup. It's unlikely the American jumpers will make their presence known in Vancouver. Only one American has ever won a medal in ski jumping, and that came back in 1924. The American team of Nick Alexander, Anders Johnson, and Peter Fournette will do their best to buck the trend. For more information on ski jumping and all the other events at the 2010 Winter Olympics, head over to ESPN.com/Olympics.
On the offensive coordinator, creative, Burns into the end zone. Touchdown, Newton! Is there anything else he can do?
Hello! Heisman moment. Cam Newton had his Saturday catching a touchdown pass in Auburn's win over Ole Miss. More on his enormous lead in the Heisman race and on Auburn's positioning in my rapidly changing top 5 in a moment. Wait a minute. I've gone this far and I haven't explained this, have I? Yeah, that's my bad. It's the Halloween weekend edition of College Football Runback. I'm Dory Noka, and you see, this is my costume. Kind of lame, I know, but look, it was either this or some scary yet goofy-looking monster mask, so my producer, Teef, bought me this one. All right, let's rock the great plays. Did you just hear something? Maybe it was just in my head, but it sounded like a whistle. Yeah, I heard a whistle.
There is a whistle in the stands. Please do not use that.
You can't bring whistles into stadiums. Come on. Did anybody really think an 18-year-old true freshman quarterback whose only college game came at home against Youngstown State could go into 101,000-seat Bryant-Denny Stadium against the #1 team in the land and lead his team to a win? No, there was no chance. And I'm not knocking Robert Bolden. Young dude has some talent. He'll be fine. Probably going to be better than fine, but he wasn't ready for this. Bama rolled Penn State, but it wasn't always pretty. Only real problem with the Wolverines come with numbers, specifically the number 9. On one punt, they had 2 9s on the field. Now 2 9s equal 5, as in yards on the penalty. That's a no-no. Pryor and Robinson with ridiculous statistical lines on Saturday. Florida's Trey Burton, a backup quarterback no less, you talk about a line. He carried the ball 5 times for 40 yards and 5 touchdowns. Did you catch that? 5 carries, 5 touchdowns. That will knock you off your rocker. He also caught a touchdown pass. That's 6 touchdowns in all, and the Gators roll. Finally roll on offense, except for that one kind of embarrassing penalty.
Dead ball. False start on the entire offensive line. We had a late snap. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Hey, at least they were cohesive, all working together. You kind of like that kind of team play, right? We've discovered the key to Oregon's success. How did we not know this? They run plays with ESPNers' faces. For instance, the Scott Van Pelt play. I'd say it works. It's a touchdown for the Ducks. You should call it more often. There's a Lee Corso play. And would you look at that? It's another touchdown. Here's the secret. They're onto something in Eugene. And then the Dari Noka play. Oh, this has got to be good. I've always wanted a play named after me. Yeah. Maybe they scrapped that play. Yeah. Sorry, LaMichael. Hey, I'm going to give you some Heisman love in a minute, though. Let's go back to that Iowa game real quick. This was Iowa's disaster of a last play. No timeouts. They can't get out of bounds to kick that game-winning field goal. Let's see. Just for grins, if Les was coaching this team, what might have happened? The clock magically stops? Wisconsin gets called for too many men on the field? A bird swoops down, picks up the ball carrier, takes him, and drops him into the end zone, perhaps. I'm just kind of thinking out loud. All right, ready for runbacks on Runback? We have a plethora of them. I love that word for some reason. So many runbacks. We're going to bang out 4 at a time, because if we don't, we'll be here till tomorrow trying to show them all to you. Upper left, UConn's Nick Williams going to go 100. Upper right, Louisiana Lafayette's Darryl Sargent goes 97. Lower left, USF's Lindsey Lamar goes the distance against the Cuse. Lower right, Utah's Reggie Dunn takes it back. They are still undefeated, is Utah. More runbacks, pick 6 style. UCF's Troy Davis, top left. Illinois' Nate Bassey, top right. NC State's C.J. Wilson on the bottom left. And Boise State's Shea McClellan on the bottom right. Are you ready for the winner of the Runback Halloween costume contest? You've seen the 5 finalists. Wait a minute, what's that? Oh no, a power outage? Anish Shroff, Jay Walker, my guys, what on earth is happening?
The whole stadium is in complete darkness right now. There's flashlights. Wow. Never ever. Wow.
I'm glad the world is so dependent upon cell phones. Yeah, that was the only light in the stadium as Bethune-Cookman hosted North Carolina A&T Thursday. And the best part of the whole thing, the game was literally being hailed by the school as Blackout 2010. Yeah, seriously. All right, here we go. The winner of the first annual, maybe annual, we'll see how it goes, Runback Halloween costume contest is, envelope please, the Zombie Kids from Iowa. Yay, Zombie Kids! Now for your efforts and creativity and for winning our contest, you win absolutely nothing. But but congratulations to the Zombie Kids. By the way, last thing, something to add a little flavor to this show. This week's Take 'em or Leave 'em picks, Alabama goes to LSU. Both teams just one loss, while LSU wins games with what appears to be some higher power help. No, I said higher power, not you, Vader. Both teams come off a bye week. Give me Saban with an extra week over Miles with an extra week any day of the week. Bama doesn't care where they play. They beat LSU, but it's low scoring. Bama wins 20-16. Huge game in the Big 12 South. It sounds crazy to say it, but first place Baylor at Oklahoma State. Bears beat Texas. Props to Art Briles and his team. I mean, they're playing like superheroes this season. They're 4-1 in league play, and Robert Griffin is a beast at QB, but Baylor can give up points, and Oklahoma State can score points. I think Baylor's run at the top of the South ends. Pokes win 44-34. Finally, the biggest game in Mountain West history. I'm saying it, and I believe it. Undefeated TCU at undefeated Utah. Both teams have fantastic offenses, but I'm giving TCU the defensive edge. But it's not easy to win in Salt Lake City. I've gone back and forth on this, kind of like I have on whether it's clever or really idiotic to dress like Woody anytime, let alone at a football game. But in the end, give me the team with a home crowd. Utah beats TCU and becomes a legitimate national title contender, 34-31 Utes in a thriller. Hey, TCU fans, come on, don't be grouchy. So those are my picks for the week. Thank you. Thank you very much.